In the early 2000s, Nigeria stood at a crossroads, embracing technology, liberalizing its telecom sector, and dreaming of a global relevance. But behind the scenes of booming cell towers and flashing SIM cards, powerful men were quietly carving out fortunes. At the center of this story are two of Nigeria's most influential political figures, James Ibori and Bola Tinubu. Both were state governors. Both were implicated in the controversial sale of Vmobile, one of Nigeria's earliest mobile networks. Both were investigated, but their fates couldn't have been more different. One would be hunted down, arrested in Dubai and jailed in the UK. The other would rise through the murky tides of politics and eventually take his seat in the most powerful office in the land, the presidential villa. This is a story of how two men linked by scandal walked two very different roads. Hello viewers, glad to have you on Beyond the Headlines. I am Toshik Raphael. The early 2000s were a golden time for Nigeria's telecom sector. With the government opening up the industry to private investment, mobile phones were finally reaching the masses. Companies like Econet, which later became Vmobile, Celtel, Zain, and now Airtel Nigeria became valuable assets and juicy opportunities for corruption. Amid this telecom revolution, high-ranking political figures began quietly acquiring shares through front companies. It was a perfect storm. Rapid growth, weak oversight, and billions in potential profits. James Ibori, then governor of Delta State, who served from 1999 to 2007, was accused of using public funds to buy Vmobile shares through proxies. Bola Tinubu, then governor of Lagos State, who served from 1999 also to 2007, was similarly linked to questionable dealings involving the sale of Vmobile assets. While Ibori's involvement became headline news, Tinubu's case remained largely in the shadows, whispered about but never proven in court. As Nigeria's anti-corruption agency, EFCC, Economic Financial Crimes Commission, began digging into the telecom deals, the names of Ibori, Tinubu, and another former governor, Victor Atta, surfaced. The allegations were serious. What were they? Conspiracy, embezzlement, and money laundering. Ibori alone faced 170 charges. But political power offered protection. Tinubu, rumored to have bribed the EFCC chairman Nuhu Ribadu to drop investigations, never faced formal charges over Vmobile. Ibori, on the other hand, maneuvered through Nigeria's legal system, getting his charges struck out by a judge said to be related to him. What happened? Of course, it worked. It worked for a while. In 2010, Ibori's luck ran out of him, unfortunately. Interpol arrested him in Dubai and extradited him to the United Kingdom. In 2012, he pleaded guilty to 10 counts of fraud and money laundering, many tied to Vmobile shares and foreign properties bought with stolen public funds. He was sentenced to 13 years in prison. Meanwhile, Bola Tinubu stayed untouched. In 2009, the FCC cleared him and others over the Vmobile affair. He insisted that Lagos State's investment in Econet, that is Vmobile, was clean and profitable. No proxies, no scandals, just a business. While Ibori served time in a UK cell, Tinubu solidified his political alliances, played the kingmaker in national politics, and built a reputation as a strategic political godfather. By 2023, he ascended to the highest seat in the nation, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Today, James Ibori is a free man, back in Nigeria, but forever marked by his criminal record. Billions in stolen assets have been recovered from the UK, Switzerland, and other jurisdictions. Tinubu, on the other hand, now presides over the same nation that once whispered about his role in massive telecom scandal. No court has convicted him. No foreign prison has held him. And the man once investigated by the EFCC now has Nuhu Ribadu, the very EFCC chairman he was rumored to have bribed, serving as his national security advisor. Very sad indeed. The story of Ibori and Tinubu is more than just a tale of two governors. It is a reflection of how power, timing, and perception can shape destinies in Nigeria. One man broke the law and paid the price. The other, whether by cunning, connections, or coincidence, rose above the storm untouched. It leaves behind haunting questions. In Nigeria, is justice truly blind, or does it see who holds the most cards? Well, the question is for you, only you to answer. You're watching Beyond the Headlines. I'm Coach Raphael. For more on this, do not hesitate to hit the like button, make your comments, share this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more exciting stories. Thank you. See you next time.